Hi friends, today is Netzach Chesed, eternal giving. Let's be like God, eternal givers, even when we don't feel like giving. Hi, I'm Miriam Drury, and I just wrote this book called Every Day is a Diamond. We're entering the 49 days of Sfirat HaOmer, the auspicious time according to Judaic philosophy, which allows us to check into our souls and see how we achieve ultimate spiritual redemption. So I invite you to learn with me a little bit about this day, which is called Eternal Giving, Netzach Shebechesed. Let's see what it's all about. Good evening, friends. I hope you're doing well. We started with Chesed Shebechesed, moved on to Gvura Shebechesed, Chesed Shebechesed. This is the week of, of, of fixing the chesed, the giving, the flowing of the giving in our hearts. And then we moved on to Gvura Shebechesed, which allows us to check what our boundaries are, when we need to put some boundaries, and when on the other hand, we need to fix up in our hearts the idea that sometimes we need to force ourselves to give, that we don't necessarily feel like giving. And then we moved on to Tiferet Shebechesed, the balance of when to give and how much to give and how to give, and when to set up our boundaries in the most balanced way, not to completely stop giving and not to completely flow, not to completely restrain ourselves from giving and not to completely flow with our giving on the other hand. And today we're doing Netzach Shebechesed. Netzach Shebechesed is the day that allows us to fix in our hearts the idea that we want to be eternal givers, that we want to be eternally connected to Chesed. And who is eternally connected to Chesed? Who is eternally, infinitely, endlessly connected to Chesed, connected to giving? The Almighty, our Father in heaven, is constantly giving us sun, giving us flowers, giving us rain, giving us food, giving us roof over our heads, giving us our children, giving us our spouses, giving us love in so many different ways, emotionally and spiritually and physically and financially. And we want to be like him. It says, what is being good and kind? Being good and kind is being like God. And we want to be like God, eternal and powerfully giving, like God is powerfully giving all the time. So if we want to attain, if we want to check how much Netzach Shebechesed exists in our hearts, we need to check ourselves. How much am I giving when I don't feel like giving so much? When I know it's the right thing to give, I know it's the right thing to do something kind, I know it's the right thing to react in a loving, in a kind, in a compassionate, in a graceful way, but I just don't feel like it. I don't have the strength to do it, but I overcome myself and I do it anyway. So we all want to have God giving to us all the time, but do we want to be like God? Do we want to be givers who give like God even when he doesn't feel like giving, even when we don't deserve to be getting? That's how God is. We don't want to be only asking God. We don't want to be connected to God only on the level of asking God to give us special powers when we need to ask, when we need to receive something. We want to be connected to God on the level of being like God, infinitely eternal givers. I bless us to be like God. Have a wonderful day of Netzach Shebechesed.